Go Station, Down Street, West 1. Even discounting the Royal Mail's recently decommissioned 23 miles private track, running dozens of miniature trains from Whitechapel to Paddington, Greater London has around 50 abandoned or ghost stations, which is to say considerably more than many city networks actually have in service. Many can still be seen today. For example, take a look at the entrance to Pizza on the Park next time you're passing Hyde Park Corner. You will notice how it is clad in the same maroon tiles which traditionally used for the facades of many underground stations. That's the clue, and once you know what to look for, there are several others to find. Most famously in this part of the town, the two at Down Street and Dover Street, both short-lived stops on the Great Northern, Piccadilly and Brompton Railway, now simply known as the Piccadilly line, and another close to the Oratory, which was known as Brompton Road. This last was redundant almost as soon as it opened in 1906, and the guard's cry of "Passing Brompton Road" became so familiar that in the 1920s the phrase was even borrowed for the title of a successful West End play. The station itself came back into use in 1939, however, although not as a railway station, but rather as a secure operations room for the Metropolitan Anti-Aircraft Command. At the close of the hostilities, it was taken over by the Territorial Army and never returned to its original use. Dover Street in Mayfair was similarly commandeered, this time to be London Transport Emergency Wartime Headquarters, although it later found a role as one of London's rubbish chutes, which was used to remove spoil during the excavation of the original Victoria line. The most infamous of the ghost stations, though, is probably Down Street, the entrance to which can still be seen round the corner from the Hard Rock Cafe. It's better known than the others because, while officially it has to become a secure administrative headquarters of the Railways Executive Committee, which was established during the Munich crisis in order to prepare the government for a takeover of the mainline railways in the event of war. It is also the temporary home of Churchill's wartime cabinet. A considerable underground office in Piccadilly is what Sir Winston Churchill called it, 70 feet below the surface and covered with high, strong buildings. His home for 40 days and nights. It was here that he chaired meetings in its deep bunker until his new, more heavily protected cabinet war rooms were ready for occupation. Apparently, Churchill's bath is still down there, near the stairs at one end of the platform, as well as a number of old telephones and other railway communication equipment, which were wired up by the London, Midland and Scottish Railway. Also, at King William Street in the city, an even older ghost, which in 1890 became the northern terminus of the City and South London Railway, the world's first electric tube line. One can still find the tattered remnants of old "Careless Talk Costs Lives" posters, put up over the platforms during the Blitz, when the informal practice of dropping into tube stations while an air raid was on at last became official policy.